Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I am Rob. With me is, of course, Amanda, and we are back for another or a continuation of our adventure in October, this past October. For those of you who may have missed the first three videos, that was of the Disney Wish. We did an honest and detailed review of our time on the Disney Wish, which was a 4-day sailing, Halloween on the high seas. But there's a part two to our story, actually a part three. Part one was wedding in Vegas. Part two was honeymoon on the Disney Wish. And part three is part two of honeymoon in the Disney World parks. What this series is going to do, we're going to do 4, maybe 5 videos. At this point, it's going to be 4, but we'll see. There's going to be a video for each of the parks. We went to each of the parks once. And then we also have our stay, which we'll talk about in a bit, and our time at Disney Springs. And we want to kind of, and there's a few other areas in the Orlando area we're going to talk about that we visited. That might be a separate video at the beginning. It might be this video. I might put on the not so scary Halloween party at the Magic Kingdom in the same video, or I might make that its own video. We'll see how time goes. But as of now, welcome to part one, which we're going to start with Disney Springs and the Orlando area, and of course Halloween, the not so scary Halloween party, which happens from 7 to midnight, 7 to midnight, with an early entry. You can get in at 4. They kick all the regulars out at 6, and then from 6 till midnight, the park's yours. It was an amazing time. We'll get there. Amanda, how are you doing after that huge 2-minute intro? What's going on? How's it going?
That was a lot. That was
Yeah.
certainly a lot. And I feel like this is going to be as much of a surprise to me as it is to everyone else watching this. So I'm just going to do my best to roll with this and have some colorful commentary.
So the thing is I took a lot of pictures on the ship. I
Yeah.
didn't take nearly as many pictures. In general, we didn't take nearly as many pictures in the parks, but we can certainly talk about our experience, how we felt about it, the good, the bad, the ugly, what we felt were our rookie mistakes as a couple
Oh,
at this event, where we think we could do better, and maybe you can use this either next year during this time event, because not only is it the Not So Scary Halloween, but there's also the Food and Wine Festival, which I think we have some wonderful nuggets of mistaken information that we might be able to pass on to you guys to help you out, or just in general. A lot of this stuff is for the parks, anytime, any place. Obviously, there was nothing specific going on at Hollywood Studios nor at Animal Kingdom. We did leave Animal Kingdom early because we had to get on a flight to go home. So let's start things off. Now, I'm going to show you a picture. Let's get set up here, and we'll move out of the way, kind of like we did in the last video. If you did watch the Disney Wish series, and we'll move ourselves down, and we'll make
honey,
room
I
for
shrunk
some
the kid.
photos. And look at that beautiful picture of Walt and Mickey and the castle in
That's pretty
beautiful
good.
black and white. Didn't take that picture, by the way. That wasn't me. That I stole that blatantly from Disney's website.
Good.
Copyright Disney, all rights reserved. Now I want to show you a video or a picture. I want to show you a picture, and that picture is this one here. And this picture is from my left to right. I think that'll also be yours. That is my sister Lori, her husband as of the 13th, the day after our wedding. Jason, that is of course me, and of course Amanda, and that is at the Magic Kingdom Not So Scary Halloween party. But to get there, we have to rewind a bit, because I said this was our honeymoon, right? So what are Lori and Jason doing here? Well, it just so happens,
Oh gosh, we're going to do this.
it just so happens that I have a video. So let me set this up for you, because we don't have a whole lot on Disney Springs, and I'm going to explain why. So our plan was to get off the ship,
Hmm.
get to Disney Springs.
Hmm.
We rented a car, so we went to the airport, got the car, went to Disney Springs, and we were going to see the sights. Right? We had a
Hmm.
reservation for Raglan Road. No, we didn't. Well, actually, we did, and then I canceled it a week before. So, unbeknownst to Amanda,
Hmm.
Lori came up with a plan. She said, "Look, we have vacation DVC, because Jason's dad is part of the DVC group. So we're going to go there for our honeymoon, if that's okay with you. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Amanda would love it. I love it. But we're not going to tell Amanda. We're going to surprise her. So we
Joke's
show
on
up
me.
around. Yeah, well, not a joke, babe. Not a joke.
Surprises on me.
Surprises on you. And so we go to Disney Springs. We get there about 10:30. And I figure we got about, maybe it's
Yeah.
11. I figure we got plenty of time because 12:40 is when Lori says we're going to go. Now, secondly, if you have never been there and you don't know what you're seeing right here, this is a place called Art Smith's Homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
He's a fancy chef. This is a beautiful Southern cooking,
Very.
wonderful cooking, by the way. But I wanted to go to this place, could not get a reservation. However, Lori and Jason showed up the day prior, and because of that, they had 30 days from that day, and they just so happened to be able to get reservations for that. See, you can get 60 days out, you can reserve, right? So 60 days out from our first day was Friday.
Crazy.
60 days from their first day was Thursday, so they were able to get that Friday, and because you can do it for the whole trip, you don't have to wait till 60 days out. It's 60 days from your first day. So that one day was enough for them to get reservations. They got reservations.
Crazy.
They let me know. Scene set. Now, we're going to Disney Springs, and I'm telling you, I have very few pictures because all I'm thinking here is, we can show the picture that way. All I'm thinking here is, my God, I have to waste some time. And I thought, oh, good, we'll go to, Amanda wants to go to the World of Disney, and she wants to go to the Christmas one. Yeah. And all that's great. And then I get a text from Lori going, well, I think we're going to get it early. So now I'm in panic. So we're walking around. I'm like, hey, let's go into here, trying to waste time. Hey, let's go into here, we're trying to waste time. Amanda's getting absolutely pissed off at me. She's getting so frustrated. Not like wanting to beat me, but like she's getting frustrated. And then we go to the Christmas briefly, and I'm kind of like looking at my watch, and I'm going, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's head back here. Let's go see if we can go to Art Smith. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to have to be more forceful in being the leader of directions here.
You need to be more thorough.
Because I was all over the place. But I was all over the place with a plan in mind. And here's a couple other shots we got here. That's again in Legoland on an Elsa, of course, which is absolutely crazy.
Which had the longest line in the world. I mean, wrapping around buildings. Yeah. No.
And there's of course the stormtroopers, and I think I see Chewie in the background there. But,
Chewie's in there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was our time. That's about all the pictures I had a chance for because I was too busy worrying about. Now let's go back to this moment here, and so to set it up, I'm like, hey, I'm going to check it out. Amanda's kind of a little bit flustered right now. She's not great, but she's a little bit. So I walk ahead. She's still at the back. I walk in, I talk to the front, and they already were in on it. So I'm like, hey, we're the party of two. Lori, my name's Rob. And she's like, oh, yeah, I got you. And then so they just, by that time, Amanda catches up, has no idea.
Wait. Let me set the scene for my side of this.
Yes.
Before you lay into this. So we're at this restaurant, and we're in Disney Springs, and Rob's just like, we'll get in, not a problem. Let me just go check in the front. It's not a big deal. I'm like, no, it doesn't happen that way. It does not happen that way. This is a Friday in the afternoon. It's busy. And he like bypasses the initial check-in receptionist. And I was like, no, sir. It doesn't work that way. And like, so I'm standing further and further behind him, which actually works because he gets up front and gets to the normal reception to check in with them. And he's able to disclose what he's really there for. Little did I know, but I'm still about 10 feet behind, like dragging my feet coming in here. And finally he's like, babe, come on, let's go. And then he also turns around. He's like, they got a table. I'm like, what? No way. This never happens, especially at this joint. This place is so popular. So that's where it leads us to here. I'm still like really reluctantly chugging along.
Now, I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's two people inconspicuously, like it's like spy versus spy here. Like if you had to say, hey, who are the two that are up to something in this whole restaurant? It's the two with the identical paper holding it like this.
No.
Did Amanda notice? No. Let's
No,
just see what happens.
no.
I don't like it. I'm not going too far.
Oh gosh,
By
because
the
it
way,
has
the waiter is in on it. The
everyone.
the the hostess set up the camera for this. She set this up to get this.
Not subtle at all.
Okay, I'm trying to get her attention to
No,
look.
no.
She's totally passed, and then
It's so
slows
fast.
down and boom!
I'm
I
just
have to wait.
oblivious. Yeah,
So that was how the day started, which was amazing.
it
Let
was
me show you
wonderful.
what she walked past. Oh, that's not
Everything.
how I do it. Sorry. Let me try that again. Which one I need? This picture here. This is what she walked past. Amanda and Rob, Disney honeymoon with our wedding photos in it. Didn't
Yeah,
see a thing.
no.
No, we actually kept those. We have one each. It was such
Yes,
an amazing moment. Let's see if you can go in there. The wedding.
best
Our
surprise.
story, these two lovebirds met 2 decades ago, and thanks to Amanda's mom, they reconnected. The rest is history. We were so excited that they tied the knot. They flew to
Oh,
Florida just to help them celebrate for one more day. Look at that. Surprise Amanda, 12 p.m. 4 p.m. head to Disneyland,
so
6 p.m. have a blast, right? So that was pretty
good.
cool. Somebody,
Like,
October 12th.
and one of the last things I said to Lori before we had to skedaddle out of there and catch a plane is like, time we're going to do a family vacation. Little did I know it's less than a week away that I would be having another family vacation. It was so wonderful. Thank you. Best
So yeah,
surprise.
thank you. That was awesome. It was a good lunch. Unfortunately, we did not get much time at Disney Springs. But wait, in March, we will be going back. We're going on a cruise again.
Try
We've
again.
padded some time to go to City Walk, right? Universal City Walk.
Universal City Walk. Yeah.
And then on the back end of it, we're going to go to two, tentatively speaking, Magic Kingdom and Epcot. And
Mm-hmm.
you'll find out why we've chosen those two to go back to, and then Disney Springs. So we've got a full day plan there. Hopefully it'll work out for us, and we'll have a good time. So that was our time. By the way, the food, didn't take any pictures of it like an idiot. The food was amazing.
Amazing.
It was so much. There was so much on the plate. I got the chicken fried with gravy and a biscuit and
Yeah.
potatoes. Oh my god, it was
You
so
can
good.
really share these, a lot of that stuff.
And the
It's
fried
really
pickles to start. They had a starter.
oh, good recommendation.
I hate fried pickles. I love
Mm-hmm.
these fried pickles. They did
Yeah.
a banging job.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really good time. Thank you to Lori and Jason for that awesome surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get to the evening, I do want to talk about a couple of other things, and we'll reference these in future videos, mainly the Epcot. But the other big thing we wanted to see was Gideon's. Now, unfortunately, Gideon's had about a 45 to an hour lineup in Disney Springs.
In Disney Springs, yes.
So we decided to hoof it to the other Gideon's, which is in downtown Orlando. Not downtown, but in Orlando.
Yeah.
This
On
is
a
the
different
lineup
day.
us going in. It's not the same. I'll tell you that right
No.
now. It's not the same thing. It's like a small footprint of it. They have the same food, the same
Fine.
cookies,
Boutique-y. Mm-hmm.
but it's not this. It's not the same. But it does have the all the lore and the look. I would say, and jump in on this if you want. I think that the best move would be to pick a day that's not a Friday, and
Yeah.
probably
Or
not a
Saturday.
Halloween thing or Saturday.
Or
Do this
Sunday.
midweek if you can. Go to the full size one. We didn't get that opportunity, so of course, as you can see, and you know what, still yes, we're gonna do it again because in March,
We're gonna try.
we're gonna try it probably on the weekend. Oh no,
Okay.
maybe we're gonna no. Actually, that's not true. We're probably gonna do it on the
Tuesday.
Tuesday that we fly out
Mhm.
because we're gonna do Monday Epcot, Sunday
Mhm.
Disney World or Magic
Magic
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Okay, so here's the selection of cookies. You can see them there. I got the one that had pecans in it. You
No,
got
pistachio.
sorry.
Yeah.
And you got the
I got one that had like Oreo cookie and all that kind of stuff. It was like
yeah.
the bride or something like that.
And give your impression of the actual cookies.
They're okay. I mean, they're expensive first and foremost. So go in there just for like an experience kind of thing. Though I don't know if you can see it there up on that
Yeah.
platter on the right is the cake. We also got that, and the cake was pretty banging. It was really tasty. It was moist. It was fluffy. Had a really good flavor to it. Though their cake's a little bit different. You like have to let it sit out for a little bit to get to room temperature, and then you can consume it, kind of thing. Um, I think it's the experience is really what you're paying for, and it's fun and different. So it's kind of maybe
Yeah.
worth your time
So
for
so
like
what
a
I would say,
moderate price.
if you're into cookies, if you're into baking, go to Crumble.
Uh, uh,
What? Really?
yeah, yeah. Hot take.
Wow. Our marriage has hit its
Good
first
thing we're already married.
spell.
You ain't running from that.
Oh my god. Other than Crumble was
My
better than the
opinion.
cookie. Crumble's way better than the cookie on this for this about the same price is what I'm saying. Crumble is better. If you find your local whatever cookie place, this cookie was like a 6 out of 10. The velvet cake was probably an 8 out of 10. It was actually really good. So, but yeah, it's the experience of it. I mean, you can just see the styling. Obviously, this is just the mini one.
Yeah.
They have a full version of that. Like it feels like it's a right out of Harry Potter, scary Mary Shelley's
Yeah.
Frankenstein, that sort of
Yeah.
feel,
Yeah.
and it's really cool. So I do recommend going, but you're not going there for the cookies. Although I guess they have some pretty good coffee at the main
Coffee.
shop too.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any of that here because they have a coffee shop here. But if you know where this is and you're really into pho
Yes.
or
Fun.
or um or what's that?
Ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles.
Yeah.
There's a ramen shop there. And we showed up and we thought it was the Gideons because the lineup was so big, but the lineup was actually for the ramen place that opened up in like 15 minutes. There was already 20 some people in line.
Prior to it opening, the line was way out.
So that might be the low key hack here. Wherever this Gideon's is, and I don't have the address on me, look up Gideon's. It's the one that's not in Disney Springs. In that same complex, there's a ramen shop that apparently is really good. Okay? So that's all we have about Disney Springs. Like I said, we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time. We literally went into 2 places. We went into the Christmas shop that had all the ornaments and Christmas type stuff.
And barely spent any time.
And it was so fast because I was like, okay, we got to get out here. And then the World of Disney, we went in and did a quick 360. It was just all the Disney merch, that except for exclusive park stuff, all in one place. So
It's
honestly,
honestly,
it's really cool. What I would say is Orlando International, the airport, because it's got 2 shops, is almost as big and it's got almost the same stuff. But if you want to really see it all in one place, then definitely you gotta go to the World of Disney. So those are the places we went to. We also took a quick stop off, and I didn't take any pictures of it. The discount shop. Remember the Disney discount merch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the character warehouse and the mall.
Yeah. I've heard everyone say it's good. We went there. There was a couple things that maybe I would buy, but I wasn't in any.
It's all about timing there, depending on when they're moving new merch in there. I mean, it's again about timing. And like if you live there, then it's a lot easier to get to it and do your souvenir shopping there. But it's like the previous season or 2 of stuff that's finally making its way down. So it was fun. It was a good adventure.
Hey, there's you. Oh, it's a little bit overexposed.
Oh.
Let's fix that.
It's
so
bright.
This is the other thing we're going to talk about briefly. And you know what? We're probably going to cut this video off short, have it a shorter intro, and then next week we'll have the Magic Kingdom Not So Scary Halloween. Just because we don't need this to be a 3-hour tour de force. But this here is, we stayed at the Riverside Port Orleans, and we chose that. I chose that. Now, again, to preface this whole thing, I don't know if I mentioned, but this whole thing was a series of surprises. Everything about this trip started with me planning it before we even had our wedding details planned. Before we even picked our wedding date, as a matter of fact, we had our honeymoon, because we were originally going to get married in February. So then we were looking at May 4th. Would have been fun. I don't know why we didn't do May. Oh, because you don't like odd numbers. So we played with a lot of numbers before we finally settled on October 12th. Now, Amanda had no idea what our honeymoon was. And then at some point I tipped that it was going to be a cruise. I didn't tell her what, I didn't tell her how, I just told her to be a cruise. And I kept dropping hints 4 months. Did you even have a clue? I think you kind of assumed maybe it was a Disney Wish at some point.
I for
But
sure knew it was a cruise, but I wasn't quite
Mhm.
sure which one.
Yeah.
I mean, there because Icon was out too at that time. Well, would be out by that, and that's a big, and Utopia, right? Those are so who knows? I figured we would land somewhere
Yeah, and I kept
fancy.
saying cruise or cruises, so I kept throwing off.
Mhm,
Now in
mhm.
July, when she came to visit to go to Mark and Angie's wedding, which then we got COVID and couldn't go to the wedding, but we did spend the weekend, or not the part of the weekend
The first part.
in Calgary. We went to the inn. It was this the officers barracks, right, or something.
Hmm.
Very nice place, very overpriced, but great time. That's when I did the big reveal. I had a video for her that we did the big reveal on what this was going to be. So the reason why I tell you that is because the reason why I chose this room was because it was the only room that was the princess room. And of course, Amanda's my princess. Well, now she's my queen. She was my princess. So I had to get her the princess room. I just wanted to let you know that. So that's why we chose. I chose the Port Orleans Riverside, and this is the room that we got. So this is the video. Here, I'll mute it because I don't know what we say here. I might get in trouble. But this is our room. Unfortunately, it's twin queens. They don't have a king size option for this. Apparently, princesses don't like king size beds. I don't know. But just to see it, the look of it, I gotta say, the first impression look was kind of neat. It's kind of it's got all the classic. It's got all the princesses. I'll let you start on what your impressions of this hotel was, and then I'll give mine, and then we'll move on to the next. But that is the hotel, the Riverside Port Orleans. Why don't you go ahead, babe? And
Well, the part that we're kind of missing is the exterior, and the exterior is beautiful. It's kind of a plantation kind of style with these columns and multi levels. I mean, it was a really great exterior look and kind of already setting the tone for you to kind of go to a different place in time kind of thing. And then after we climbed a couple staircases without realizing there was an elevator or something happened, one of the things happened. We got to our room, and it was really cute and magical, and all these little bitty of like, I'm sure like the Imagineers are in there designing these little touches, like carpet from Aladdin is in there, and then like the if you see in the sink, like the faucet heads are reminiscent, I think,
there
of
were lamps.
of lamps
Yeah,
and all that kind of
genie
stuff
lamps.
again from Aladdin. And then there's a
The
little
footstool.
bench in there that's
Yeah.
the footstool that's like from Beauty and the Beast, and just all these little bitty touches that are hints of all these classic Disney princess stories. And the headboard was beautiful, and it had this little twinkly light display on it. It was really sweet and magical. And look, if you see it, like the banners there, those
Yeah.
are all the princes that
So you see the
are,
carpet there. That's the magic carpet on
yeah.
the floor there. You see there's the headboards. Sorry, it's really hard to get right to the right place, but that's the headboards, and it twinkled.
Just like Frog, I think,
You
kind of
see
tell
there's
you all
portraits,
the princesses. Yeah, not all of them, but a lot of them, kind of thing.
and then you can see there's the faucets of the lamps.
Faucet. Yeah, it's really just kind of cute and quaint. I mean, it definitely is an older building, and you can tell. I do believe they're working on doing renovations in areas of the hotel. There were just a couple small little details that would have made accommodations a little bit better. I struggled with having enough outlets and plugins for all of my electronics that I had brought. Little
Yeah,
things
I
like
mean
that.
something to note is like I usually carry a bunch of multi taps, but the Disney Wish, the Disney cruise line doesn't allow these multi-taps at all. And actually now Royal Caribbean has also removed multi-taps. A multi-tap is one prong into multiple prong. I have one with an extension that I use. It's a non-surge, which used to be allowed on ships. Now it seems like at least 2 cruise lines have banned them. They call it a fire hazard. I call it bullshit, but whatever. So yeah. So normally if we were to just go here, we'd have that, which would have helped. But we didn't have any of that. I mean, we definitely had our multi-plug for plugging in our USB, but there was really only 3 plugs, I believe, in the whole room, not including the TV one, which is behind the wall or behind that cabinet. So
minor. I mean, the only other big thing that, well, 2 things that were for me a frustration. One, the hairdryer died. Like the middle of the night, the hairdryer died. And the joke was by the time that a new hairdryer shows up, my hair would be dry. And sure enough, that's what happened. But
it took like 45 minutes, almost an hour, and so we had given up and we were going to go to sleep because we were heading out the next day. We were tired. It'd been a long day. And then she knocked on the door and she looked like she looked like she was in her house coat, first off, and secondly, she looked like someone called her and was like, "Wake up, drive to Walmart, buy a new," because she was not happy.
So thank you for bringing the hairdryer. I'm sorry to disturb you so late at night.
Yeah, that's obviously it's your job because you're the one who got called. So suck it up, buttercup. Anyway, so my thoughts of the room. I get to say it because I'm the one who chose. Oh, yeah, you got more? Sorry, babe.
The only other small thing is that there's no nightstands. So if you're sharing the bed, there's only a nightstand on one side in the middle. It's kind of small in the first place. So like there was no place for me to put my glasses, or if I wanted a cup of water, or those kind of things. And again, this is like nitpicking, and I'm not trying to be, but after a really long day, I really wanted to set my glasses on something prior to going to bed, or have my phone with an alarm already set on it. But my darling husband was very nice and improvised and hauled the little bench over to the side for me. So thank you for doing that.
So you see this space right here? It's just dead space.
It's wide, so wide open.
And then I guess if 2 people are sharing, could you imagine if you were 2 couples, or if you were a couple with a kid, maybe one kid on a stretcher bed, or 2 kids sharing, the young kids, and that's the little table you have.
That's all you got.
So this is what I'll tell you. If you need a magical experience, if that's what you're looking for, this room fits the bill. It definitely hits the mark on what you're looking for from a magical themed experience. I think that every one of the Disney places should be themed. It makes no sense to me. They have all these IPs not to theme it. I've heard other people, A&R Travels, who bitch about theming. They want it to be luxurious or whatever. And I get it, because it's not cheap. It's not inexpensive to stay on any of these hotels. But for me, if I want to stay at a luxury hotel, it's Orlando. There's a billion hotels. There are 5-star beautiful hotels. There's even 3 of them on property. The Swan, the Duck, and the Turtle. I don't know what they're called. The 3 ones by Marriott. They're very beautiful. Go there. What I had a problem with is this clearly was a 20 to 25 year dated room. It was pre-cell phones. It was pre-streaming. There was no streaming service or even the ability to stream to a TV. I travel for my work, and there's nothing that infuriates me more than the lack of entertainment. So they've cut down all the extra super channel, all the pay, everything. So you just get basic cable. Now in Canada, that's even worse, because it's like I get 13 CBCs and 1 American channel, and that American channel is usually fuzzy or doesn't work. So it's absolutely bonkers. I get sports, so that's okay. But so maybe I want to stream something. Nope, you can't, because they're too lazy. Disney makes billions of dollars, and they own their own streaming service, which is about 50% of all everything, maybe more. Because they got Hulu, they got Disney, they got HBO, all of them. Now, maybe HBO wouldn't want to be a part of this because it's more of an agreement. Mm-hmm. So you still say Disney. Disney is also Fox Pictures. It's Searchlight. It's so much that they didn't have that streaming. They didn't have a
I know
streaming.
that. Mm-hmm.
That blew my mind. And they didn't have like a Chromecast where you could stream too either. That you could. So I thought that was pretty weak. The lack of a king size bed in a themed room, I thought was shocking. Now, granted, most people are probably going to do families, so I get that they don't need a lot of them, but they don't even have any of them. They have a king size in Riverside. So the downside of it is it's definitely in dire need of a refresh, and it hasn't gotten there yet. And I've heard it's next on the list. They're doing areas of the French Quarter, which is the other half of the Port Orleans. The French Quarter is getting renovated now. Some of it I haven't heard if it's been done or whatever.
Yeah.
This needs to be next. It's not okay. It's old. It's dilapidated. The plugs feel unsafe because they're that old. That like all
they were
hotel
coming
plugs.
loose. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was gonna get electrocuted.
So you know what? It's a place to stay. The beds are still the beds. The beds are still phenomenal. I've always had a good sleep. I just think Disney, you could do better on this. 20 years is a long time. I believe it was just shy of $400 a night.
I would say, especially for the price point.
Yeah. So Riverside's from $300 to $450 US a night. And at that price point, this room doesn't owe you any favors anymore, Disney. It's time to pay back and give it a little refresh. So if you're just looking for the most bang for your buck, this is not the place. It's probably All-Star Resort or any of the newer cheap ones. If you're looking for the most luxurious, this is not the place. That's probably, there's a lot. The Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, all these other ones. Contemporary just got their refresh over the last several years. They've got the sides as well as the main tower. Mm-hmm. The A-frame just got it like last year, I think, or 2023, I think, depending on when you're watching this. So that's going to give you the most up-to-date fresh. They've given an Incredibles theme. It's pretty minimalist. I will say that it feels like a modern hotel room. The theming isn't in your face. I would almost like it to be more in your face, but they didn't ask. So if you're looking for something that's very specifically themed to what you're looking for with princesses, this is going to be the place. Yeah. If you're looking for a beautiful place to stay as far as the grounds, it's got this old South feel to it that is absolutely wonderful. The building looks beautiful. The area, we didn't go to the pools, but there's like 3 swimming pools. There's gardens. There's tons of walking paths. You'd be able to stay here and spend a day not even going to the parks.
Yeah, well lit. All that good stuff.
But I would, if you're like, I kind of like it, but I'm kind of bougie, probably wait until they do the renos on this place before you go there. There's plenty of different resorts to pick. Wilderness Resort, Animal Kingdom Resort, Animal something Resort. I don't even know what they are anymore. I never get them right. No. The Contemporary, Grand Floridian's going through repairs or going through renovations this year into next year, I believe. So there's a lot of places that are going to offer you marquee at all price points, and I think this is not the one for you guys. So that said, we're at 34 minutes. We are going to call this a video. We are going to so that's our first day up till say 3:30, and then we'll talk about in the next video. We're going to go to the Not So Scary Halloween party at Magic Kingdom with Jason and Lori, Amanda and myself as we traverse Magic Kingdom for the first time for me, second time for Amanda, but first time together. And please stay tuned. Let me know in the comments down below. Is a week too long? The thing is I don't know if I'm going to have continuing outside of this vacation stuff. I don't know what content I'm going to put out there. Maybe we'll figure out some content we can do aside from that. I don't know, but definitely if you feel like it's too long a week, we can look at maybe speeding up the release schedule on that. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. If you want to, over there will probably be a video of our Disney Wish review. It's a 3-part series, so that's part 1 there. Click on that. Have a good time. And of course, as always, please be kind, be safe. We'll see you next
Like
video.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.